This is really big though. I think we should talk about it, right? So, but then again, if I talk about it, Mihoyo already does an amazing job explaining what it does, right? So I'm just reading the text, but the TLDR is before then, EM doesn't snapshot. So the example they put here is amazing, right? Sucrose EM buff into Ganyu EM buff into Albedo EM buff. Ganyu ult will gain the benefit from Sucrose EM buff only, but it lasts longer than Sucrose buff itself because the duration of Ganyu ult. Now, if you do Sucrose into Ganyu into Albedo, Ganyu ult will gain the benefit from Sucrose and Albedo ult, but it will only last as long as their respective buff lasts, right? Instead of snapshotting the buff forever, and yeah, because Ganyu ult lasts a lot longer than most buffs, right? So it's like I think they were doing this. I think it's for the Elegy bow, right? Elegy of the End bow, right? Because how it worked before is even though the bow was kind of like made for Venti, Venti ult himself will not benefit from the Elemental Mastery or the attack buff, because when he press ult and then he procs the Elegy of the End buff, his ult does not benefit from it because it already snapshots the moment that he used the ult ability, right? But now it does. What's the big deal of this then? It's like skill clarity and stuff and no more snapshotting. You can't do shit like Sucrose ult or like Diona ult into Xingqiu and get his ult the permanent buff, basically, right? It means the ult scaled to real time now. There's no more snapshotting. What is snapshot? Well, it's like before you can use like Bennett ult into like Ganyu ult. You can switch out of Ganyu and her ult will benefit from the attack buff the entire time. But well, they didn't. The fix they did is they made Elemental Mastery update in real time, whereas to attack percentage still snapshots, right? It's a nerf to DOT skills. So it makes so that the order where you use your abilities for Elemental Mastery buff matters less, because every single burst benefits from it, right? So you have to sandwich the ult, right? You have to do a support ult into a DPS ult into a support ult if you want a max benefit. But it's only on Elemental Mastery though, yeah. Is Sucrose OP now? No, I think it's I guess it's just for clarity, and it's just a buff for like Elegy of the End. They changed an entire game mechanic for the Elegy of the End bow. But then again, there's only very few Elemental Mastery buffer in the game, right? It's a nerf to Sucrose EM buff to say Zhangling Q. That is fair. Yeah, that is fair. So they changed the game mechanic on the EM, yeah, which is nice. I mean, I like it that they actually give a fucking patch note explaining everything. That's nice. Ship. Who else got nerf? It's not a nerf on anything. It's mostly bug fixes and I guess clarity, right? Snapshot is not a good mechanic. It's just spaghetti coding. That's why snapshot happens. So they're basically improving their spaghetti code. I feel like if it's a buffing ability, it should affect real time anyway. Like the buff duration should end when the buff duration ends, rather than you being able to prolong the buff duration forever, no? So there's no snapshot anymore. There's still snapshot for attack percentage. There's no snapshot on Elemental Mastery anymore. But I guess this change is mostly benefiting the Elegy of the End bow, because now Venti can actually benefit from his Elegy bow. Right? Snapshotting makes Bennett better. It does make Bennett better, yeah. Snapshotting makes Bennett OP, that is true. If they fix snapshotting, character like Xingqiu, Bennett will be weaker. Way weaker. No, not way weaker. They'll be a bit weaker, but not super weak. But yeah, that'll be a nerf to if they fix the snapshot on... I guess the snapshot fix will kind of nerf Xingqiu a bit, but not too much. Xingqiu doesn't snapshot? Oh yeah, I forgot. What? It happens twice, right? Xingqiu has two things that other ability doesn't have, right? Like the first thing is that at 1.1, right? At 1.1, Xingqiu's sword, he has 3 to 4 sword, right? Each sword has individual internal cooldown, so it can prop melt multiple times. I mean vaporize multiple times, which is kind of stupid, right? They fixed that. But now him not having a snapshot is also intended. Alright, we're going the right direction, I guess. For some fucking reason, Xingqiu has like 2 mechanics that no one else in the game has. I'm like, what the fuck? It's a buff in some situations, it's a nerf on some other. But, you know, technically, if the buffs last in real time instead of snapshotting, it's better. Is it because he creates new sword? Does that mean on the same way that Ganyu ult should create new icicles? I know catching ult doesn't snapshot. It's every single hit, every single slash, yeah. Does Ganyu ult snapshots then? No, actually, yeah, no, never mind. I just read the fucking text. Ganyu ult does snapshot. It said the before after right here.
That's great.
The before after right here, yeah, on the patch update, it does snapshots. That's why now after the update, it will not anymore, yeah. So Elegy Bow Ganyu and Elegy of the End Venti actually works now because their ult will benefit from the EM buff in real time. So Elegy is the best bow for Ganyu support now, right? Yeah, you just don't have to aim. Mr. Code, I still don't understand what snapshots mean. Please help. Okay, if you use Sucrose EM buff, and then you use Ganyu ult, and you swap out of Ganyu ult benefit from Sucrose buff longer than its duration, because Ganyu ult lasts longer than Sucrose buff, but since it's already snapshots the buff, the moment she press her ult, it stays forever. Telwood Bennett ult. Yeah, the thing is the buff, the patch notes they're doing, they're only making so that elemental mastery now updates in real time. Attack percentage still snapshots. If they make attack percentage not snapshot, then Bennett will receive a huge nerf. I think that's one of the reasons why Bennett was powerful in the first place, right? Him being able to get his ult throughout. Give an example to chat. I guess the example would be yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the most scuff way you can explain it, but yeah, it works like that now. This is the scuffest way you can explain it, but yes, this is how it works now. TLDR, Elemental Mastery, updates in real time now, instead of maintaining the buff forever, snapshotting it. That is very... Okay, so it's similar to this, right? So, yeah, Zhongli Pillar is a good way to do it. So right now, my Zhongli Pillar does 2,700 damage, right? But it always does 2,700 damage, right? If I replace it with the stack, now it does 3,000, and the other one still does 2,800, yeah? Yeah, so that's what snapshotting means. The moment you place down a duration-based ability, it locks on at the moment it places down, rather than updating in real time. Shadow buff to Zhongli again? No, they're only making Elemental Mastery update in real time. Attack percentage still snapshots. If they make attack percentage update in real time, it'll be a nerf to Bennett, but a buff to Zhongli.